Don't click if you're sleepy. This rain doesn't ask permission. It lulls. It finds the places behind your eyes and smooths them, like a hand over creased linen. Outside, the street is a river of amber, lantern light poured over wet stone. Inside, the cafe breathes in warm hush, a quiet stitched from cup rims, low fire, and the metronome tap of droplets on glass. You didn't come here to fight sleep, you came to be outnumbered by calm. Listen to the window count seconds you don't need to count. Each beat of rain lands soft and stays, a tiny universe deciding to rest. Shadows lean across polished wood, lanterns whispering their small golden vows. A cup settles on its saucer, two porcelain heartbeats that agree with the night. The door chimes once, a silk bell, then closes with a soft, satisfied sigh. Cold rides in on an umbrella and dissolves at the threshold like breath on a mirror. You sit where the window frames the world and the lantern frames you, a quiet meeting of weather and warmth. Outside is cold, quick, and wide. Inside is slow, close, and safe. That is the bargain the night offers, and the rain enforces it without a word. Steam snakes from a kettle somewhere behind the counter, a ghost of warmth you can taste before you sip. Sugar waits in a small glass jar, squares catching lantern fire like little windows of their own. A napkin remembers the fold of the last hand that pressed it flat. Somewhere a book opens and exhales a hush of paper and ink, the softest confession. You don't need to read, the lines already know where you're going. Outside, headlights comb the mist and give up, slipping down the hill like patient fish. Inside, the clock refuses to hurry, a round, benevolent moon hung above the counter. You trace the pattern of raindrops with your breath, drawing private constellations that fade as soon as they form. For every star that vanishes, the lantern makes another, and the glass keeps them all. If you were reckless, you would fall asleep now, but tea. You tell yourself you'll leave after the next sip, but the next sip arrives like weather, inevitable, gentle, perfectly timed. It spreads through you in slow circles, warming the places your day forgot. Outside, the rain practices patience on the street, steady and sure, writing lullabies in a language everyone understands. Inside, the lanterns lean closer, as if to hear your breathing refine itself into something simple and true. A coat drips on the stand by the door, forming a small lake that reflects a candle flame, a tiny sunrise that never rushes the day. The bell above the frame breathes out a single silver note, then falls quiet, like a bird tucking its head under its wing. You are here for the easy miracles, steam rising, rain repeating, wood remembering the warmth of palms. Somewhere behind the counter, a grinder hums like a distant hive, low and soothing, the world's softest thunder. It stops, and in the pause you can hear the quiet decide to go deeper. Every sound in here has good manners. Each arrives with a coat of velvet and leaves without slamming the door. Contrast sharpens the kindness. Outside, the wind rehearses an argument with the gutter. Inside, the fire answers with a patient, red smile. Someone at a corner table stacks empty cups like moons, each porcelain circle catching one more amber ring from the lantern overhead. A pencil rolls, pauses at a groove in the wood, and stays, as if the table has decided to hold on to this moment a little longer. When the barista tamps grounds, the sound is a comfortable heartbeat. When she wipes the counter, it's a soft rain of cloth, a second sky over polished oak. She turns the kettle and the lid answers with a tiny click that feels like a nod. You anchor one palm to the cup and send the other out into the window's weather, tracing cold through glass until your fingertips memorize the pattern the rain drew for you. A bus hushes by with the long breath of a tired whale, its lights smeared into soft ribbons by. Closing time approaches the way fog approaches a field, low, patient, impossible to fear. The cat stretches, pours itself into a longer shape, and settles again like warm dough returning to the bowl. The barista checks the fire with a small iron tool. Embers shift, accept direction, then whisper their agreement in orange. You sip what remains and realize the last mouthful is always the most honest, a map of every minute you stayed. Outside, the street still shivers with rain light, but fewer tires draw their silver lines. The city has decided to whisper too. A cloth moves across the counter, erasing the day without judgment. In the window, drops gather into slow parades. Each bead finds a partner, then another, until small rivers sketch generous curves down the pane. The lamp nearest you hums very softly, a moth's advice on how to be bright without being loud. For a heartbeat, a breeze tests the door, lifts the bell into a tiny nod, and retreats like a polite friend who knows when to leave the quiet alone. You imagine walking home through a library of puddles, every step turning a page. You imagine staying until the lanterns dim and the room becomes a handful of small suns in an easy night. Both futures are kind. The decision is a feather and the air holds it either way. Contrast does the heavy lifting. The wind insists, the room refuses to hurry. The rain rehearses distance, the cup insists on nearness. You let the difference cradle you. Music from somewhere barely there finds one note and polishes it. The note seems to come from the clock, from the cat, from your own calm, as if everything has agreed on the same key. Behind the counter, a last kettle becomes a cloud in a silver coat. The barista pours water to rinse a filter, drawing circles that make the sink a tiny planet under friendly weather. She glances up and gives you the kind of smile that knows what you came for and is glad you found it. No more orders, only simple endings done gently, the grindersly. The street outside is a slow river of candlelight and you stand on its bank, warmed by the café you carry in your chest. Rain arranges small crowns on every puddle, patient coronations no one attends and everyone receives. Your scarf remembers the hearth, your breath makes soft ghosts and releases them to kind duty. The bell behind you rests, a silver seed that will sprout morning when needed. For now, the night is generous and exact. It folds its edges around you, tucking in where the day left seams. You take 3 steps and discover the umbrella's private drum, a close roof where rain translates to hush. Light spills from the window and finds you like a letter finding its name. The cat appears there, a painted silhouette in amber, tail bending a question mark that already knows the answer. You lift your hand and the silhouette blinks, granting safe passage. Across the street, a bakery sleeps with buttered dreams. Above, a line of rooms keeps watch with friendly eyes. Somewhere, a train breathes, but it is far away and on your side. The city is an instrument tuned soft tonight. Tires bow the strings of wet asphalt. Gutters murmur a bass line. Your footsteps play the quiet between notes. You realize the hook was never the rain alone. It was contrast, the honest handshake between cold and heat, drift and harbor, distance and nearness. It was the room teaching the weather how to be gentle, and the weather teaching you how to be simple. You carry both teachers now, one in each palm, and your heartbeat conducts them with unambitious grace. Someone laughs on a balcony, the sound arriving wrapped in wool. A bicycle bell rings, then corrects itself into silence. You pass under a chain of lanterns and let their halos settle across your shoulders like medals for patience. Every storefront writes the same invitation in different hands. Rest here, linger, nothing urgent. Behind you, the café reduces to a promise-sized jewel, then to memory, then to warmth that needs no proof. Forward is only softer night. When you reach the corner, the wind turns the page for you. The rain softens again, as if remembering your preference. You pause under a tree that has been translating water into calm for a century. Leaves applaud without noise. The umbrella closes with the tender click of a good idea finishing. You pocket the handle and accept the weather's gentle confidence on your hair, your coat, your cheeks. You are not being tested, you are being agreed with. Home can be any door that opens onto light. Tonight it is the space you make by breathing, the room that follows you because you tended it well. The rain does not stop, it does not need to. It simply chooses smaller words. Window. Steam. Lantern. You walk through each like a sentence that refuses to hurry toward a period. When one finally arrives, it is kind and it fits. Someone laughs on a balcony, the sound arriving wrapped in wool. A bicycle bell rings, then corrects itself into silence. You pass under a chain of lanterns and let their halos settle across your shoulders like medals for patience. Every storefront writes the same invitation in different hands. Rest here, linger, nothing urgent. Behind you, the café reduces to a promise-sized jewel, then to memory, then than to warmth that needs no proof. Forward is only softer night. When you reach the corner, the wind turns the page for you. The rain softens again, as if remembering your preference.